Hey, Jordan Bench here, jordanbench.com. In this video, I answer the question, what are bad fats to stay away from? What are the bad fats that you should be avoiding? Now, if you're someone that is at all concerned with your health and you're tired of feeling bad and you just want to start feeling better, maybe you have a whole lot of inflammation going on, it may be because you just have a whole lot of bad fats in your diet. And you might be having this not really knowing that this is what's going on. Now, I'm going to tell you what fats you need to avoid, but before I do that, let me just give you an idea of what the situation of what's going on. So typically, like in the American diet, we have an abundance of omega-6 fats. Now, omega-6 fats really aren't that bad, but it is bad when you have such an abundance of it. So typically what you'd want to see is where we have a ratio of 1-to-1. Omega-3s and omega-6s of a 1-to-1 ratio. But what we have in our typical American diet is we have like a ratio of, let's say, 10-to-1 or 20-to-1 or even 50-to-1. What I mean is like omega-6 to omega-3, of it being just such a high number of omega-6 compared to omega-3. So we don't get enough omega-3 in our diet. We get an abundance of omega-6. Now that is a problem. If it was 1-to-1, it really wouldn't be that much of a problem. So omega-3 is really going to help out when it comes to like anti-inflammation. It's anti-inflammatory. Whereas omega-6 is going to cause a lot of inflammation because a lot of times these fats, these omega-6 fats, they're highly refined, they're highly processed, they're rancid, and they're just going to cause a lot of inflammation in our bodies, right? So that's going to cause a lot of problems. So we want to avoid omega-6 as much as we can, all right? So I would, the fats that I would like completely avoid if you can, like try to minimize them as much as possible, would be like canola oil, vegetable oil, soybean oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil is another one. Those are oils that I would definitely avoid if you can. I also would say too, avoid margarine, avoid Crisco, even vegetable shortening as well. Avoid those. And I'm sure you've heard this already. I'm sure you already know, but like avoid trans fats. You know, anything that's like hydrogenated oils or partially hydrogenated oils. Avoid those the best that you can. And I think if you can start to like eliminate a lot of those omega-6 oils within your diet, you're going to start seeing a change. And if you can increase some of the omega-3s, which I'll do a video on, some of the good fats, if you can increase those, you're going to see a much better result like within your health. I also want to say too, like we have such an abundance of the omega-6 fatty acids, and it's not that we're just dumping oil on our food, it's just when the manufacturers of certain companies put a lot of these different oils within the food, or if we go to restaurants, we go to grocery stores, wherever we're eating our food, a lot of times these foods are already added in, which is one of the reasons why we just have such an abundance of it. I'll give you an example. Like if you look at a bag of potato chips, right? So a lot of times they fry that in oils. But when you read the label, a lot of times you're going to see there's like 4 or 5 different types of oils because it's almost like there's a mixture. Like they're not even sure what oil is even being cooked in, whether it's the different like vegetable oils it's being cooked in. So a lot of times we just have such an abundance of omega-6s, which is why we really need to avoid these, just really minimize them as the best that we can. If we can do that, we're going to start seeing a change in our health. So if you like this video, then go ahead and give it a like. If you have any questions for me, or if you have any like video suggestions, any video topics, anything that you want me to do videos on, then go ahead and comment that below. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video.